Okay. Hi guys, welcome to Behind the Costume. I'm your host Harley.
And I'm your host Jill, and today we have with us
Jaunty Faye or Jaunty Jabberwocky on Facebook.
Also known as Wednesday Addams.
Yeah, she's Wednesday. So today is a very, very awkward special nerd day. I found out this morning it's the 40th anniversary of Star Wars.
Yay!
So happy birthday to Star Wars.
All the Star Wars. That's me.
And
It's
National Towel Day because it is May 25th. So
don't panic and always carry a towel.
I have my towel. Do you have yours?
I have mine. Where's yours?
Wednesday didn't bring a towel.
I did not bring a towel.
I'm not sharing. This one's mine.
Yep, Wednesday
I
didn't
could
bring a
just
towel.
take
It's
your
her
towel.
My
fault.
towel. My towel. You want to steal my towel?
You're stealing towels. I'm telling Mom.
So today's show is going to be
Clumsily.
about pretty much getting started into cosplay. One of the fastest way to do that is called closet cosplay. And we have with us our specialist today. She does more cosplays than
Anybody.
I know.
Closet cosplay is most of what I do.
I build big. You do closet. Harley.
I'm research.
Yay.
Though I have an excuse for today. My doctor says that I have a malformed public duty gland and a natural deficiency in morbid fiber, and that I'm excused from saving the universe. So, can I be excused?
No.
Damn.
There's not a doctor's signature on that.
Crap.
I need it in triplicate. It needs to be notarized and sent to me 7 weeks in the future.
But future stuff is very futury.
Yes, future stuff is very futury. So, I'll let you take it away, Harley, with our, I don't know what to call it. I'm just going to call it.
Things going down the table. So,
They fed me caffeine. I am not responsible for my own,
actions.
things.
We're gonna go with well-being.
Well-being. We're not responsible for
Caffeine,
anybody's
the typical
well-being.
juice that keeps the most cosplayers going most of the time.
So I guess, let's start off with, some of the things we've seen recently, just to kind of talk about some of the nerd culture before we even get started. So as you can see, we're Guardians of the Galaxy fans here. We had to buy both Groots.
Yeah.
Um,
This one had popcorn.
and that one was
this
a
was
drink.
the drink one originally, and this one's the drink.
That would have been impressive as a drink
this one's
one.
now my
I
drink.
thought that's what I thought he was.
Maybe
this
a
is
really
now
big
my drink.
slush.
I was
is
thinking
not
he
my
was going to
drink.
be a giant slushie, but no, only Baby Groot's the slushie. He's angsty teenage Groot.
Okay, so how long do you think it'll take before we start seeing a whole bunch of cosplayers cosplaying Guardians of the Galaxy?
Already happening.
Yeah, I'm already seeing it.
There were at least 3 beautifully done at, which one was the one that I just hit?
Animal
Comic Palooza.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, so at Comic Palooza, there were at least 3 full Groots. We're talking Rocket, Nova. There was a Mary Poppins version of his dad.
Mary Poppins, Yondu?
Yeah.
Spoilers!
Spoilers. Spoilers, sorry.
Hardly a
Sorry, we
spoiler.
forget. Spoiler alert. Now,
Shout out to Tice. Mary Poppins,
Poppins, y'all.
y'all.
Now, beautifully done costumes. I mean, can Guardians of the Galaxy even be a closet costume? There's so much leather on those things.
That really depends on your closet.
I think is it in our closet or their
My
closet?
closet can.
I actually know a few people who have already pulled together a slight closet version of Starlord, actually, because he's just a guy. He's a human. It's very ordinary.
It's very easy.
T-shirt.
He wears
jacket.
a lot of t-shirts and pants. Everybody sees him with the jacket, but
Yeah, like if you get the jacket, then like the mask you can't have as well. That would really sell it. But
I mean, well, for the most of the time,
It's
I don't
doable.
think he really wears the mask, does he?
Yeah.
Mostly it's-
No, it's just a quick boop.
yeah, if you wanted to take it to the next level, the mask would really identify what character you're doing. A common issue with, or I wouldn't say issue, well, it depends on how you view it. If you want to be recognized really well, that can sometimes be a little bit hard to do with closet cosplay because, take for example, I do Zatanna from Justice League Dark. And I pulled that together very quickly because I already had all the pieces except for a white corset.
I could have given you one of those.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
could kind of had our closet for that
Yeah,
one.
But that's one of the ones where, to anybody who's not very familiar with the universe, or who's used to the version with the top hat and the stockings and the very magician wand sort
Wouldn't
of attire.
understand.
Okay, now I just finally realized what character you're talking about.
Exactly.
I'm not that nerdy until you started mentioning those pieces, and I'm like, oh, now we know what you're talking
It's kind of
about.
like
Yeah,
we have to mention on, as cosplayers, we're not your normal closet cosplayers, because that came out of her closet.
That is stuff I've owned for years.
So
I actually the only piece I haven't owned is literally
the hat.
the helmet, and that I got from Pantsless this weekend. I did not name him. It is not my choice.
We didn't name him. So,
But-
but I mean, let's talk about some of the other things we've seen recently, and the media culture, what we've seen. I felt we went and saw King Arthur the other night.
I wore that.
And she wore that, but I felt a lot of the costuming for that movie.
I could have pulled out of my closet.
We definitely, normal people could have pulled that out of their closet.
Well, also, you have to also keep in mind that you're not just cosplayers. You guys have also been in the Ren Fair circuit. You've been doing LARPing.
Fair, we do LARPing. So I have a very particular set.
Yeah.
I have lots of leather. We're doing Pirates of the Caribbean.
We're
is
going
our
in
next one.
costume,
And
but
we're
we have all the
hey,
clothes
let's
for
go
that.
do pirates. And I can just go to my closet and be like, you want to be a pirate? Pirate. You want to be a pirate? I think I can outfit, we calculated it out, 7 or 8 full pirate garbs with just what's in my closet.
Just our closet.
Yeah. Whereas I'm coming from the area of being a full-time college student, coming out from basically as an adult, starting from like, oh, I can shop online. I had no idea. I can buy my own clothing now.
Normal people.
I don't have to, but I did prior to entering the adult world. I did. So I didn't have a large budget or a whole lot of fantastical pieces I could pull from. So
Fantastical pieces and where to find them. Coming up next.
very much.
Really?
I couldn't resist it.
Is that the next one?
Yes. Fantastical pieces and where to find them.
Yeah, but so when I was starting out cosplay, I would look and I'd go, there's a character that I like. Hey, I have most of those pieces in my wardrobe. It's just like jeans and a t-shirt. That's pretty easy
Kind
to
of like
do.
your Velma.
Okay,
Yeah. Like Velma, I found the turtleneck at Goodwill.
I love thrift shopping.
Yeah.
Thrift shopping is amazing.
Thrift shopping is going to be a whole other show. But you made me watch it the other day. You made me watch Death Note.
Yes.
And I think pretty much most of those modern day animes
are normal
Death
clothes.
Note, the devil something with a job.
Oh, Devil's a part-timer.
Yes,
Devil's
Devil's
part-timer.
part-timer.
Devil something with a job. I really don't watch anime.
Even with
McDonald's Devil Guy.
McDonald's and
a lot
KFC.
of the animes nowadays are pretty much basic clothing that most
I mean-
people would wear every day, and I'm pretty sure you
Yeah.
could wear some of these clothes every day going to normal places.
I wear this
even
every
with
normal.
even with recent, even non-normal animes, even watching, Dead Man's Wonderland, you can easily closet cosplay that.
Depends on the character.
Hummingbird.
For the most
Or
part,
Mockingbird.
most animes you can pull a pretty easy character
Well,
from most of them.
you can also begin to sort of build your wardrobe around cosplay. You can, if you're really into anime or video games or the cinematic movies or the comic book verses, whichever, you can start to look and see patterns in the way things are dressed. For example, schoolgirls. Schoolgirl is a hugely wildly popular trope in anime.
Very, very popular.
And you can find a basic schoolgirl outfit online for like anywhere from $10 to $20.
Plaid
Easy
skirts were also
peasy.
really popular a couple years ago. Now you can find them everywhere in thrift stores.
Yeah.
Also, in addition to that, if you're going to go, let's say, movie version, you see a lot of different twists on a lot of characters.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think they did Thor as something, and they twist it with something normal.
Mm-hmm.
And then it allows you to say, hey, these are my regular everyday clothes. What do I already have?
Mm-hmm.
What do I need to actually go spend money on? Like, I hate to say it, like the 2 twin dresses. That is literally just a sundress. And
it's easy sundress.
it doesn't look like the twins when only one of us is wearing it.
Yeah.
But you get the 2 of us together, dead face and holding hands,
And it's creepy.
and people go,
Yeah, my Sadako or Samara from The Ring is literally just a white dress I had, and I was looking at it and I went, that looks kind of like her normal. And all I had to do was get a long black wig.
When we went to go
Man,
watch
done.
The Ring 2.
Yeah.
I mean, we went dressed as the twins. You were dressed as
Sadako.
Sadako. I can't ever say these names.
Ring
Chick.
3.
Yeah,
Ring
rings.
The recent
Rings.
one. Yeah, Rings.
Rings.
The new Rings.
Rings.
That is already out on
And
DVD.
one that's not
most
Ringu
people
Zero, which
did
is the
not know
best.
we were dressed up.
Yeah.
We did.
But nobody
Occasionally
else
we found a
did.
person who did.
They just thought we were weird girls having a
Dresses.
tea party
Yeah.
dressed
I think
up.
I mean, this is just for me, normal attire, and then throw on the wig, and suddenly it's Wednesday.
I think what makes that one so obvious is Wednesday is the new Wednesday Addams.
Is the new Morticia.
No, the I think it's a YouTube video.
Oh, the Adult Wednesday.
Oh.
The Adult Wednesday.
Adult Wednesday.
I didn't do it. Not me. Harley
Is she
did it.
coming out of the ceiling?
I love how we start talking about Wednesday and everything.
I know, it's like, are we coming out? Is she going to come out of the ceiling at us again?
But I think it's like,
Second
you know,
cover?
it's bringing these
We're used to
characters
it.
back and making them a little, like, we took the twins, we wanted to make them a little older.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, sorry, I'm not a little
I'm not a
8-year-old
small
girl.
child.
I'm not a small child. So we wanted to give them a little bit more of an adult aspect, you know.
Yeah.
So I upped the, I changed the way our hair was done a little bit. I changed the way, what shoes we wore a little bit. And I changed the dresses quite a bit. But still, everybody catches what it is.
Also, a great example of that is often if you scroll around online, and especially for very popular characters, for example, there's the Teen Titans. There's
We gotta quit talking about these creepy characters because they keep playing with the light switches.
hey, Teen Titans aren't. Well, I guess there's Raven.
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 Stop it. What is it? Beetlejuice.
Dang, I thought that was going to work.
Man, I thought things were gonna get cool around
I
here.
know, I was like, where's Michael Keaton when I need him?
Buffering.
Buffering.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, so for characters like they have Starfire and Raven, and they have a whole bunch of artist renditions of them just in normal clothing, like what their fashion would look like if they were just normal college
people.
kids, normal people, and there's a lot of those, and
I have a lot of them on my phone.
yeah, and yet. The renditions are popular enough that people who are fans are going to recognize it.
And they're starting to, I've started noticing them in the cosplay circuit.
I saw two really well done ones again at Comic Palooza, and at first, you know, it can be tricky. At first, I was like, that looks familiar. Why should I know that? And then I saw, you know, the Azeroth on across her shirt, and I saw and put it, and I was like, oh, that's
It's like
great.
I saw a really good couple of doing the version of the teenage version of
like we're like you say that we're like, oh, and I saw this.
I was like, I did. I saw a really good version. It wasn't from Comic Palooza, but it was another country. But they were doing Raven and Beast Boy, and he painted himself green, and she still had the stone on her forehead. But they were the set I sent you of the couples kissing and everything,
Aww.
and they're sitting there together with a cat in their lap, and she's reading a book to him. And I was like, this is amazing. I love seeing the normal coming out, people wearing normal clothes as cosplay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like that's the thing is people don't realize is you don't have to be, you know, the 12-foot tall pyramid head. You don't have to be in the Pit Boy jumpsuit. You don't have to be some of these crazy costumes like the Saiyans. Yeah, they're fun to build, but you know, maybe that's not where you start. Maybe
Yeah.
you start with something a little bit simpler. Maybe
Well-
you want to dress up. Maybe it's your first convention, and you
Well,
want to dress up, but
also-
you don't want to go too obvious with it.
Also, you have to keep in mind means. Not everybody is going to have the money to be able to say, I'm going to draw up anywhere from $100 to $300 on a costume I'm going to wear once or twice a year. Not everybody has the space to have all of the tools and store all of the tools and store the big armored costume parts. And
Sorry.
you're fine.
This is all pointing at me because I'm like, I have rooms in my house
That are dedicated to
I
cosplay.
literally have an entire room, which was our fourth bedroom, that is dedicated to storing costumes
which
because they
is-
get huge.
Yeah, which is great, but realistically, not everybody has that. And not everybody has the budget, and not everybody has the skills.
Well, also, unlike most people, it's like I've been doing this for about 20-ish years now. So, you know, I'm a little older when I do this. But when I first started, you know, I really regret some of my first costumes. And, you know, some of them were like, I hate to say it, my first costume was like stuff I already owned. I did it the night before I went to the con because, you know, I didn't have the money. I didn't have the means. I didn't know the creative part of this stuff.
But did you have fun at the time?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, and
I didn't know any better.
that is really the important aspect is this something that you can have fun with? Is this something that at the end of the day
You're still having fun.
you're gonna enjoy?
Well, I mean, everybody who goes to like, let's say we're in the convention aspect, everybody who goes isn't going to win. Like, some people go, and their whole point of going is to win the costume contest. Some people's entire thing to go is to go to play in the game room, to go to panels, or to go to the dances at night, or just to go see the arts, or go to the dealer's room.
I just want to walk around with
Everybody
friends.
has a different thing, or go to volunteer. I
Yeah.
hate going as a con goer now. I'm so bored nowadays.
I know.
Because I've done everything else, and I'm like, I went.
I went, I did the thing. Can I take I'm going to take your shift now. I don't know you. I'm taking your shift here at this table. Here, go play. You go play. I'm going to sit here at this door for you.
Shoot. I'm going to sit here. Badge.
Multipass. Lulu has multipass?
You know, it's like, and when we're going to costumes, and we go in as, like, costume or cosplayers, I say costume designers because I do the wide world of things, we're usually going in, and I literally have to think about what costumes am I bringing, because I don't build small anymore. I literally have no clue how to build small anymore.
I don't know.
Like, quite literally, the costume I'm wearing right now, like, it's, you know, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. She's like, robes and towels, and I'm like, I never would have thought of this.
And it just popped in my head earlier, and I was just like, Hitchhiker's, the guy's wearing a robe and some PJ pants and a towel. Closet. We have all that in our
We
closet.
got the PJ pants
I mean,
on,
it
too.
works.
We
So you
do.
don't see is, but there's PJ pants on under this.
PJ
It works.
pants.
Like, I brought another one, and it was, I don't know how many people are familiar with Superman versus the Elite. It's a little bit more obscure. Manchester Black, which for big fans, a lot of people know. For casual
For us
fans,
little
not.
people.
Hey, whoa. There's always room for more.
Always room.
Always room
It's
for more.
DC, nobody cares.
I object to that.
I'm 100% Marvel.
I'm
But
only
yeah,
DC
it was
when it comes to
literally,
Harley.
it was just, he has a Union Jack tattoo. Bam. Union Jack shirt, because I'm a girl. I can't go around with just my chest painted, hanging
You
out for the world. I mean, I
could.
could, but
But it's frowned upon.
it's easier to just do a t-shirt.
And it's your comfort level,
Yeah.
too.
And a jacket, just like a basic trench coat, and then black jeans, some combat boots, which I already had, and a purple wig. Bam.
Easy
Entire
cosplay.
All I had to get was the shirt, which I got online for like $5, and a wig, which I usually get mine online for like $10 to $15.
Now, you built out this costume.
on
How many of these
eBay.
pieces can you reuse into another costume?
I can
Raven.
reuse. No, I don't use this for Raven. I use this for. There's a few anime characters that have
Raven
short
got a bad
purple
haircut.
hair.
Yeah, I would use that for a crappy Raven.
I use it for my succubus actually, which is an original design, but that's besides
Yes.
the point. The
But still,
jacket.
so you can use this for more than one costume.
Yeah, and I mean the outfit itself again is a civilian wear. You can just wear that out in public when you feel like it. It's a basic t-shirt. Jacket has multiple uses. How many characters can you count that have combat boots and black jeans?
A lot.
A lot. I mean, there's Death from Sandman.
Which I do.
Yeah, that's another really
Well,
great
combat
example.
boots are very versatile in general. I mean, they're comfortable for everyday wear.
Precisely.
I'm a little bit more expensive in my footwear, but we've all seen me build. Most of the times you never get to see my feet, so I have a basic underring that I always build my costumes over. And yes, I've spent $500 on this pair of boots,
But
it goes
sexy.
into my LARPing garb. It goes into my Ren Fair garb. It goes into we did post-apocalyptic for a charity event. It goes into that garb. It goes into
Multiple
garb,
uses.
costume garb, same thing. It goes into multiple things. I can wear it in every day. I can do this, and so it made that one piece worth the money I spent on it originally because there's a lifetime warranty on that pair of boots.
I just have to pay, $50 and get them resold every once in a while.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
mean,
totally okay with
How
that.
bad is it to get a pair of reboots resold? I mean, $500, and then you're paying $50 after. Think of how those boots for 8 years.
8 years, and I'm
8 years,
finally
and I'm
sending them in to
finally
get
having them
resold.
sent in to have
And
the
that's
soles put
because
back on them.
my wear pattern, when you're wearing your friend's clothes too, by the way, realize that they have different patterns than you do. She walks more toward the outside of her foot, and I walk toward the inside of my foot. So you do eventually have to, and if you're going to borrow your friend's cosplays, make sure you offer, if something happens to them, repair them.
Oh, absolutely. Do not borrow someone's cosplay, mess it up, and then just be like,
Sorry! I
We
wear,
will
but-
eat your face.
Yeah, I wear and tear her boots, for the last 2 years.
To get them resold.
Yeah, we've been needing to. I was like, but wear and tear over 2 years of a pair of boots, and they finally gotten to the point where they have to be resold. I'm willing to fork up the $50.
$50 on a pair of boots to get them resold isn't bad, and especially if it's something that's so versatile.
Yeah, let's talk about some of your other cosplays you brought.
Or let's say, you know, that jacket you have. You see, we've got all this stuff torn up here. Let's say you're wearing that jacket, and heaven forbid, you somehow snag the corner and you rip it. Everybody fears this, the destruction of a costume.
No.
Battle damage.
Battle damage. You can
Battle
either
damage.
let it stay, you can stitch it back up, or you do what we do, and we just recycle it into our post-apocalyptic gear. I'm actually going to show you later about how to actually wear and tear out a piece on purpose, which is really scary to most people to be like, I don't want to tear it on purpose.
But for us, it's like, yeah, let's do this.
It's like, yeah, let's go into it.
So let's see some of the other
Alright.
closet cosplays you brought.
I had the Manchester Black, which again was just all of that, plus some basic, just some black jeans.
So what you don't realize is you can go to a thrift store and you can buy. Let's say you don't have it. You're like, oh, these are my favorite pair of black jeans, and you know, I did a costume. I did from Resident Evil. What is her name? The sister. Wears the red jacket.
Jill Valentine?
Not Jill. I did Jill Valentine too.
I did Alice.
Now I can't remember her name, but she had a pair of jeans on and she had a slice through one of the legs. I liked all my jeans. I didn't want to ruin one of my pairs of jeans, so I went to a thrift store and I paid $3 for a pair of jeans, and I sliced the leg open and I wore it once. Then I found out I really liked that pair of pants, and now I wear them I used to. I don't have blue jeans anymore.
Yeah, we don't know blue jeans.
I used to wear them all the time until eventually I finally killed them, just from overwearing them.
Were those the ones I accidentally killed?
Yes, they're the ones that you stuck your foot in and you hit the hole and you sliced all the way down the foot.
As long as they're not the ones
She's
that I
not
killed
allowed
with
to
my
borrow
thigh.
my clothing anymore because she keeps destroying things.
I would have said so.
Oh no, she did hand me a pair of jeans once that had a hole in the inside of the thigh. Not realizing that she thinks we're the same size, not realizing my thighs are much larger than hers.
So
and
how
I
did
get in
I
the
handed
car.
you your own pants. I didn't realize I handed you mine.
Yeah.
She puts them on.
and
Luckily we were still at
there's
the
now
house before-
holes in the thighs like this from the inside of my thigh.
It's a new fashion.
It is. It's
But
the new
here's
thing.
the fun thing. That pair of pants, we then shredded apart and put into other things. Like, if you look at this pair of pants right here, this one is my post-apocalyptic pants. And what I did is I kept pockets from every pair of pants I could find. And there's 19 pockets on these things.
She wanted to put more, but I couldn't
wanted
find
to
any
get
more
pockets.
pockets.
I couldn't find any more pockets.
I couldn't find any more
I'm
pockets.
waiting for us to destroy more pants so I can put more pockets on here. But for post-apocalyptic, it made sense. So I just went through all of our pants that were, didn't fit. I love it. Springtime. We got like, these don't fit. Rip the pockets off of it. And I sewed all the pockets onto a pair of pants that did fit. And
There's
now
a
I
word
have
for this. I think it's called upcycling.
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 That's the word.
Upcycling. And here's the funny thing. When I was working at a fulfillment center, these became my favorite pair of pants to wear to work. Because I could
lots
keep
of pockets to stick things.
I had lots of pockets to stick all my stuff in, and I could run around the facility, and I'd be like, oh, where's this thing? Oh, it's in this pocket. Oh, where's this thing? Oh, it's in this
Even
pocket.
that thing that girl clothing doesn't have.
Yeah,
Pockets?
pockets.
Yeah, 'cause
By the
what is
way,
it?
pro tip for all cosplayers: if your outfit doesn't have pockets,
Build them.
you can add pockets.
You
We
can
love
build
adding
them.
pockets. Hidden pockets.
Hidden pockets are even
Hidden
better.
pockets. I wanted to go the very obvious route. I added a lot of pockets.
But yeah,
I
for
need more pockets. There's only 19. It's not a round number. It needs to be round.
but for Zatanna, again, it was
Woo!
just jeans you can use for much of anything. I just
Since
got
we're talking about pockets.
Oh, those
they're-
actually
they're-
have
Oh,
pockets.
I can get my whole hand in this pocket.
It's
Look
not.
at this pocket.
doesn't-
I can get my whole hand in there.
That doesn't count. It doesn't.
No,
It doesn't.
that's
it's
rare.
not.
Rare on a pair of
It's really
jeans.
rare. Like this is actually a good pair of jeans that I've had for about 4 years. So.
That is the
That's
funniest
why.
thing about jeans nowadays. Like, most of the time in pockets, you're like, I can
Yeah,
stick
this-
my finger in the pocket.
This is just a really cheap white corset that I got off like eBay for about $5-10. Pro tip: if you see a really shiny corset that says steel boned, first off, it's not steel boned, and second
plastic.
off, you're getting what you pay for. So don't pay any more than $20 for it. If it comes with a matching thong, yeah, $20. $20 tops.
And those
But
actually
hey, you
aren't
get a
designed
thong.
for long-term wear either. I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah,
they're
no,
not.
no. But it's good for if you just want a cheap, quick something that you don't really ultimately care much about. And then
I hate to say it, I did the same thing when I did Jill Valentine. She had a blue halter top on, and I could never keep the halter top on, so I went to Fredericks of Hollywood, and I bought a blue corset, and it worked for me.
My Mad Love Harley's just a teddy bought at Fredericks of Hollywood.
There you go. Basic wig. It's super, super long. But the thing is that for this, there are so many characters that have long black hair. And this one has bangs, but you can pin them back if you don't want them. This wig does not, obviously. But I mean, I can use this for Zatanna. I could technically put it in braids and use it for my Wednesday if I wanted to. I can use it for Hellgirl from the Hellgirl anime.
I actually have the Hellgirl wig.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
exact
that's the fun thing
Hellgirl
about
wig.
wigs. Some of them, unless you put them into a very specific hair design where you glue the hair into this wig, like, let's say Super Saiyan, because I keep staring over at, like, Super Saiyan armor. Like, let's say you glue it up like that, then it becomes a very specific wig.
Yeah.
But
Final
most
Fantasy
females
characters.
don't have their hair at a very awkward place. Now, let's say you're doing Princess Leia. Yeah, you know,
Well, I mean, even that,
I
you
just
can,
want to take cinnamon buns and just be like,
you
"Oh, I'm
can. You
hungry."
can do separate pieces and just add
know,
it.
she
No, I
wants
mean, like,
actual
literally, I want to
cinnamon
stick actually,
buns.
like, cinnamon buns
But then
to my
I'd
head.
walk over and eat her hair.
But then I'd be like, I'm hungry. Harsh.
Have like one big bite out of
There
it.
would, no,
What's that? Oh, it's the new fashion trend.
there'd be lots of little bites taken out of it throughout the day.
Yeah. But yeah,
I hate sticky.
one wig, multiple uses. You can use, I use it for Zatanna, you can use it, I can use it for, because it's so long, just put it in my face, and again, Sadako, Samora. I use it for as well, and this is another one where it was very basic, Digimon. I don't know how many Digimon fans there are.
Digimon.
I love-
Digimon.
So-
Digital monster.
Digimon Tri has a new Digidestined, Maiko, and she just wears, and I have it, she has some red glasses, long black hair, and then her outfit is basically just a schoolgirl outfit with a sweater. So I was literally able to just find, like, a basic schoolgirl skirt.
Sometimes you can find some of these really weird pieces, like,
Yeah, like-
right at the end of Halloween.
Yes.
Well, even always online. Like, this is just, like, a sailor scarf thing, and I just got it. It came with a hat that I don't use. Again, it was, like, $5-10, and then just
a little sweater.
a white sweater. And
Now,
get yourself a Digivice.
When you're talking about
you
thrift
got it.
stores, my favorite ones are the little tiny ones that are like
Nobody ever knows.
nobody
about.
ever knows exist. Like there's one called Thriftland. I love Thriftland, and they're super cheap. You know, Goodwill's a good one because they're everywhere, but they're slightly more expensive.
Depends on what you're getting and depends on the
Depends
location.
on what you're getting on your location now. But I mean, like things like Thriftland, you can find, just search thrift store and you can find some amazing things. Because most of the time they're catch-alls for everything that people don't want. And you can go through and quite literally, if you're doing anything military based, they have military pants out the wazoo.
We happen to just collect ours from Ben.
We also have a lot of friends in the military, and I'm like, oh, you're leaving? Give me your stuff.
Give us all your things.
Give me your things.
So I guess we just got I'm watching the feed here. We just got a message from a viewer. Is time for our question of the week.
Question of the week! Yay!
But
Oh, wait, we have it up here.
look. Okay,
Oh.
I really want to get into the world of cosplay,
cosplay.
but I have no idea how to start. What's the best jumping off point? It's all
Oh.
too much to think about. So where do you think we should start as an intro to cosplay?
I hate to say it, closet
cosplay.
Yeah,
We're
Especially
gonna
if you don't have, if you're, you know, when we first start out, nobody really. Now there are some people I've met that have spent years working on a costume, and lots of money because that's what they had to throw at it. But for the most part, I think when most people first start their convention,
Look at what's in your closet.
when they first
and-
start convention, you're maybe in your
Yeah.
early teens, maybe even early 20s, and most people at that age don't have much money to spend like this. Especially nowadays, I work my butt off 24 hours a day,
honestly,
and even now I don't have that much money to spend on it.
honestly, a lot of comic books can also be a really good place to look. I mean, for example, I've already mentioned Zatanna from Justice League Dark. Just very, very easy. Constantine is another one.
I see-
Manchester Black was already in my wardrobe pretty much.
Death.
Well, what
Yeah,
about picking
most-
your character?
Sandman.
Most people from the Sandman series.
Yeah.
What about when
most
you're
of
picking your
Sandman.
very first character that you want to cosplay? Now, some people are like, oh, I want to cosplay my favorite character. I have never cosplayed my absolute favorite character. I've never done it because, personally, I don't think I can do the costume justice yet. I really love Black Panther, but that's kind of a difficult costume when you really start looking at it and breaking it down. Now,
Like
could I
all
even,
of the leather.
oh, the leather, the weird helmet, but you know, I'm thinking about
the
doing it, you know,
texturing on that thing.
texturing.
I actually
that's just the
pulled it up.
cinematic one.
Yeah, I pulled up the cinematic universe Black Panther because she does like Black Panther so much. And as a joke, I asked her if we should build Black Panther, and she was like, yeah, pull up a couple reference pictures, and I finally was able to get a close-up of that image.
Nope.
It's kind of like my Doctor Strange cloak, never gonna happen.
You know, it's like, really love this character, but
Well, that depends also.
I really want to do it justice. So
if
can
you
I do
wanna
like
do
a
it-
laid back version of it? I could do easily a laid back version. I could do like a.
Okay, I have to give a shout out to, so there's a local cosplay meetup thing, just what was it? There's a local cosplay meetup basically, and lots of stuff. There's a cosplay sketch every
We'll
few
post it on
Sundays.
Facebook.
The
when we
cosplay
figure out what
sketch,
we're
the
talking
just
about.
because.
There's
things.
the just because there's a lot of local cosplay meetups, and there's one guy in particular that some people were kind of ragging on, and I was like, no, I kind of loved it. And he showed up to the con, and he was doing Blade, and he had a coat made out of literally duct tape and trash bags.
Oh, Cedric.
Yes, Cedric! Oh my goodness! And
He was fabulous.
I know, and he was rocking it, and he was confident. I mean, his sword was like wrapped in foil and silver, and I mean, like,
It was
Who was
terribly
it that did,
awesome.
Yeah.
They did they did Zelda and it like armored up Link, and it was out of duct tape.
yeah, exactly.
Straight up duct tape.
I love
like-
people like that.
I love those because
I
it takes
know.
so much skill. You don't realize it's super cheap, but it takes so much skill. You have the
Well,
they have
also-
they have the duct tape prom they do every year.
Yeah, well, also,
But, I mean-
it's fun. And as long as, if you're sitting there, you can be in the best cosplay ever. Like, freaking phenomenal, blow it away. But if you're, like, moping around and you're not really very energized, and people can tell that you're not having fun. And if you're not having fun,
If you love your costume,
Yeah.
other people will love
Yes.
it.
exactly.
Now,
Whereas,
now, will people pick on you sometimes? Yeah,
Yes,
but unfortunately,
'cause
that's the
people are
downside to the
mean.
culture. You're always going to have the, oh, I love this, I want to see more, and the, oh, well, that's not what I like.
yeah. Well, I mean, like, when I first saw Cedric in his Blade, that was, I had been going around and I'd been hanging out a lot more with people who were doing cosplay for a living, people who were doing big things all the time, and
Sorry.
and
You were always at our
wonderful
house.
work. No, just in general. And that was something new to me, because again, I'm used to just sort of being that closet cosplayer off in the corner where I'm like, hey, I'm just here to have fun, whatever. Contests? Oh, that's cool. You do you. Go. I'm gonna cheer for you over
I'll
here.
be way back here.
Way back here. Yeah. So, but I had started to be exposed to some of the people who were not quite as nice about it. People who were very...
Unfortunately, that is a thing.
Yeah, people who were
everywhere.
very, that's
Mean.
not good enough. That's not, they're not accurate enough. They didn't put in enough work or whatever. And it was starting to kind of be like, drag it down a little bit. And this guy just comes strolling in, duct tape, trash bags, everything, and
I think
loving
if you
it.
can do it, and if you're happy
it.
and rocking it,
yeah.
I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
go for it.
And it reminded me where I'm like, you know what? I need to stop stressing these
what was
other
it?
people and get on his level. He's
He's happy,
He is
man.
happy.
Mountain Dew Samurai dude.
Mountain
Yes,
Dew
the
Samurai box guy.
He did this beautiful samurai armor, and I was out of pop tabs, Mountain Dew cans, and Mountain Dew boxes, and it was glorious.
And it still had all the labels on it.
all the labels, and it's glorious. Like, you know, sometimes I see people and they do the cardboard armor. You know, they put the cardboard box on it says armor, and I'm one of those people that builds armor for the longest time. I'm like, that really irritates me.
I think it's the funniest thing on the
She thinks
planet.
it's funny as hell. I think it's irritating. Then I saw somebody who actually built a full suit of armor, but it was out of cardboard. And I'm like, this is fantastic. You know, they actually put the time, not just a box and says armor.
The guy that did the cardboard Megazord.
oh
Yes,
That was
cardboard Megazord.
fabulous. Like, literally,
You know, you don't have
giant
to spend
Megazord
hundreds and
made
thousands
of
of dollars. You can
cardboard.
do things out of like super recycling things. Like,
Yeah.
I love pop tab chainmail. I think it's hilarious.
And I find it
That's a lot
obnoxious.
of soda. Please get your friends to help you.
You need some Jesus. You drinking that much soda? We're pointing fingers at you, and he knows we're pointing fingers at him.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about, and this is somebody who I just went to Missouri with, and all the pop tabs you and I were talking about in the car.
Oh no, I'm pointing
I
at
know who
somebody
you're
that
pointing
lives
at,
with.
but I'm pointing at somebody else. Because, you know, it's like, even if you do this
Can't
for
be
a while,
healthy.
go online and people are like, if you go into the community, like, you say you want to build a full suit of pop tab armor, and be like, hey, you know, I'm looking for pop tabs.
Who's got pop tabs?
Who's got pop tabs? You know, people, I have tons of them. I don't want to be like, here, get them out of my house.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also, there's a lot of ways that you can save money and still have things look pretty good. More than just going to Goodwill,
there
things
is,
like that. Like, superhero suits. A lot of superhero suits people see,
Where's
they
my
think...
super suit?
Oh, here's the other thing about people's favorite, like, the superheroes. If you actually look at the movies, where did they get this skill to sew? They're making their
Like,
own
seriously,
where did they get this
you
random
did not
skill to
just
sew
randomly
that
It's a
well?
bit.
superpower. It's a superpower.
They didn't
It
get
comes with the
randomly bit
territory.
by a radioactive, like, sewing seamstress.
Yeah, no.
And
Hey,
randomly
hey,
get
hey,
surgery
working
skills.
Working with webs, he just translated that into sewing.
Well, I'm talking about everywhere else.
Spider.
It's like, there's a radioactive...
Bruce can pay people.
Yeah, Bruce can pay people.
Bruce can pay people.
There's some radioactive seamstress walking around biting superheroes.
I would watch that.
Okay, now Iron Man makes sense because Iron Man actually had the knowledge for building what he built, and they actually showed that in the movies and stuff.
And Batman
But
has
like,
Alfred.
But I mean, some of this stuff, like, where do you come up with this? Who made this for you?
Who made that? Because
Yeah,
you
comic
did
book
not
logic.
make...
It's fine.
Somebody knows your
fine.
secret identity.
That's kind of what I like about some
Hey,
of the new stuff.
Superboy's just jeans and a t-shirt.
I
But
do
some
like
of the new
Superboy.
movies, their costumes aren't so great off the bat now. Like Spider-Man, if you look
Spider-Man's
at
is
his
so
costume was
crappy.
horrible. I mean, Deadpool, you get to see the
Deadpool,
different
yeah.
levels
The
of
levels
Deadpool going
his
through his
sewing
costume.
got better.
do white.
Like, his
Well,
sewing
leather,
got better.
leather.
His skill got more. He learned Alka-Seltzer and a lemon juice.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, a lot of people think for a superhero costume that you have to do a big old latex suit and you have to invest in that.
No bad nipples.
But I mean, my original Red Lantern that I did,
I broke her. I broke her.
I wouldn't call that broken.
You have no idea.
Yeah, but mine was
Mr.
just,
Freeze had pointy nipples.
Wait, did he?
Yes.
Did I miss this?
Mr. Freeze had
Movie marathon.
Okay, that's the new marathon. We're watching all the Batman movies next.
All of the
with,
Batman movies.
with
Batmans.
Michael Keaton and Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze with his pointy.
Don't be afraid to modify costumes to fit what you can do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have a lot of friends that do Warbler. And they do these really crazy, super awesome armor builds.
I burned the snot
Like-
out of myself doing that stuff.
Yeah, like shout out to Jenny Desu. Jenny Desu does. I've seen her be like, I like that. I'm gonna make that, and then she puts up her progress pictures and she makes these crazy awesome armor things in like a day. Skills, man, skills.
Okay, yeah, well,
But-
people don't realize is some of these skills that you see some of these cosplayers have, and it's not something they just did yesterday. Like, everybody's like, oh, but your sewing is so amazing. How long have you been doing this? Since I was 5.
Long
I
time.
went to sewing camps. I'm a nerd here. I went to sewing camps when I was younger because I liked to sew. It was something my mother and I did together.
Yeah.
And that was our bonding experience.
I didn't
We
know
would sew
sewing
together.
camps were a
Now my
thing.
sewing skills, like,
Apparently.
nowadays, I'm still learning new things.
Yeah.
I'm still talking to other seamstresses and I'm learning new little things here and there. Like, I'm learning how to do these weird little things that I never thought of before. Like the magical world of Wonder Under. Oh my god.
Wonder Under, all praise
Yeah.
the Wonder Under.
But I mean,
She's learning my wonderful
it can also
worlds.
be really intimidating for people who haven't grown up going to those camps and who haven't grown up with those
Yeah.
skills and who are barely starting to wander into this. So like, I have a lot of friends that do Warbler and they're like, we'll help you. And I'm like, I'm still really intimidated by that. So I'm saving cardboard so that I can just be like, I'll cut out a cardboard into the piece and cover it with fabric. Bam. That's what I'll do.
Warbler was the first time we did Warbler was when we did Pyramid Head, and I'd never played with it before. And trust me, spray paint can cover a lot of mistakes. People don't realize it's like
Spray paint can work on a lot of things.
spray paint covers a lot of mistakes that you don't realize are in some of these costumes. If you strip all that spray paint off, it looks horrid. It looks atrocious because I can tell you where all the little weird seams are. And some of them you can still see in the Warbler, but they were left there purposely because they were actual seams in the metal. But some people with Warbler, they're like, wait. You're like,
Look at this Groot thing I made out of
this
Warbler.
weird thing I made out of Warbler. It's amazing. And I'm like,
How did you do that?
did you videotape it? No. Well,
I want to know how you did it.
how did you do it?
Show me.
Practice.
You make
So
make
much-
another one.
so much
and you're like,
practice.
Make another one. Well, let me sit here and watch you.
but that's the cool thing about nowadays versus like when we first started, we didn't have YouTube.
God, I
You
love
know,
YouTube.
Nowadays, you can go on
Pinterest.
YouTube and you can watch all these cool things. Like, I hate to say it, kind of close to Closet Cosplay is Bound.
I love Disney bounding.
Disney Bound?
Yes,
Disney
I haven't
Disney
heard
bound.
this.
Okay, so
So
Disney
you
bound.
can't wear costumes to Disney if you're an adult.
Oh, I
So
see
people
all
will
about
build
that.
like
So people
normal
build
style
closet
clothes.
costumes of Disney characters
Oh.
and Marvel characters, and they literally just go either to the store and they find really
And
nice
it's
little
fantastic.
costumes and
Yeah,
dresses, and then they come up with ideas and go, well, here's a Disney bound.
Well, that could be similar to I did
Some of them were kind of off there, and I'm like, how do you figure
that
this?
that
Some of them are like, you're Gaston.
Well, I mean, that's how that works.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did a photo shoot recently with a whole group of really talented women, and we did Disney princesses as like pajamas and stuff.
Yes, it was kind of like your pajama Disney princess.
And so I mean, like like when I did Merida, I did like shorts and a tank top with like a flannel thing over because it was modern and based on sort of the punk Merida renditions of the modern ones that I've seen.
Like some of the punk crossovers you see.
Yeah,
Like the
punk
Sailor
Moons.
I want to do the punk Sailor Moon so bad.
I mean, that's the fun thing is like you could, even if you're just beginning into cosplay and you don't know what to do, pick something you like. Pick something you're comfortable with.
Something that'll make you happy.
You know, don't feel like you have to go with the, I have to go with this big giant crazy costume. Pick, I hate to say, I love mashups. Mashups are some of my favorite things. And I think one of the best ones Harley and I ever did was our Joker and Harley Mad Max.
I love it.
And I got purple camo pants. She had red camo pants. I didn't want to dye my hair green, so I had a green scarf thing I had, and, I did some makeup on my face, and I had a tank top and purple gloves. I had little things here and there, but everybody could recognize who we were.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just normal things we already had. And, they're things I can use in other places. But it worked for us, and, it was a costume I could sit down in, which is amazing to me. You have no idea how amazing it is to be able to sit down in a costume.
Unless, like me, you can sit down in all your cosplays.
Yeah. So speaking of post-apocalyptic, why
Oh,
don't we get into our DIY?
yeah.
Well, so we've been talking about this. We're talking about post-apocalyptic.
Oh, I have to apologize. I have to apologize about the
iron-on
iron-on transfer.
My printer broke.
Our printer broke.
Sometimes you have a little bit of a
you have
mishap.
cosplay malfunctions.
So
Before cosplay even
iron-on
starts.
transfers, you can do a lot of times. We talked about the Wonder Runner, so I'm going to hit on the iron-on transfers. Sometimes, you can do the iron-on where you print it out on the iron-on transfer and you just iron it onto your clothes, and it looks kind of cool for doing, patches and stuff. The other way you can do that is Wonder Under. It's this lovely thing. It's an adhesive sheet that you glue you iron it onto the bottom of the sheet of fabric. Do not forget to flip your images backwards.
Yes.
I did that for a reason, because the first time she did it, she did all her lettering backwards on it. But you
And
got to invert your
sad.
image. And then you iron it onto the back, and it's pretty much like a glue sheet that glues fabric to fabric, so that it makes it easier to sew it down.
And for those that
And
are
if you're not
still
good with
really
sewing
interested
down-
in watching this, next week, so again, we're every other week as a show. Next week, I will actually sit down and actually show Wonder Under at home on our Facebook
We'll
Live.
Facebook it, because I'm doing a massive project
we'll
right now
Facebook
with-
Live. So, and it'll at least a week will give me time to do it.
But, so since we're talking about fun things, we talked about post-apocalyptic, and a lot of costumes have damage. Most costumes, their characters aren't pristine.
Or if you do punk style as a regular, it'd
Yeah.
be nice to know how to do that as well.
Sometimes,
for
they have
fashion.
rips in fabric, and sometimes they have this, and it's how do you get those rips? And I actually found this idea from a friend of ours pointed me in the direction of Neon Snail, and he's a guy who does post-apocalyptic gear. And the way he shreds his clothing to give it these cool rips, pull these back over here, to get these cool, well-damaged in rips. Yay. Let's see if I can figure this out. To give it these cool rips that make it look frayed, like you have been. These are forest runners, so it looks like you have been running. You've been snagging on twigs, and things are not the, frayed out, and not the way they're supposed to. This
You've
is
been
also
wearing
like
it for years.
You've been wearing it for years, and not just fresh off the thing. You grab what is called a saw cutter. This thing will literally, it's got a nice big round edge, and it's got blades on the end. And these are used for literally sawing circles into pieces of wood.
Now, please be careful if you notice there's little holes where her fingers are.
Yes, this is where you can connect it into different pieces.
When I actually was doing my pants and my shirt, I got my finger caught in that, and I almost had to go get stitches.
Yeah, these are also extremely sharp. I mean, this is for going through wood. So, and sometimes you can get these that go through metal.
Don't try this at home. I mean, try this at home with adult supervision.
Very carefully. So I'm actually going to
carefully.
wrap this over itself so I don't actually shred through this and into the table, because I don't think they'd be happy with me if I did that. And pretty much all you do with this thing is literally scrape it across your garb until you get however many tears and bits you want torn into it. If you want big gaps, you can go in there and be like, rip it up into a bigger gap. Look, a big gap. Oh,
Big
look, there's like
gaps.
lots of little holes because, let's say it's moth-worn. Things are old. Things get eaten, especially if you're out in the wilderness. Or, let's say it's something you found that's supposed to be really, really old. Things don't last long. Moths eat things. Little worms eat things. Mice eat stuff. So depending upon where you're
Maggots.
going, maggots. If you're doing a dead character, maggots.
Who
My
who
Beetlejuice-
suggested that? Me?
Yeah, my Beetlejuice has a lot of holes in
So
it.
it's a lot of fun. You can even go through like plastic pieces, and the more you shred, the more torn up it gets. I love shredding through those pieces.
She does.
That thing looks
Her
so
happy
well.
day.
And it just shreds. Now I warn you, this thing will shred everything everywhere and get lots of little pieces everywhere.
So yes, we have to clean up after this.
And it gives you this really cool, really torn up look. Like, hey, I've been running through the woods. I've got, this stuff is shredded all the way through to the bottom.
Can confirm, very sharp.
They're very sharp. And they come in different sizes. And the cool thing is,
And you can just get that at, where can you get those? Just like a Home Depot?
Home Depot,
Harbor
Lowe's,
Freight.
Harbor Freight.
Which is
I've actually seen somebody who took several different sizes of these and literally glued them inside of each other. So he
Oh.
had this big, massive shred plate.
Ooh.
So instead of having a singular
I wanna try
line,
that.
you would get these big, massive shreds for doing big pieces.
try that now.
Yeah, that sounds
I
pretty cool.
love shredding things. This is like one of my favorite things to do. I'm like,
Also,
yeah, let's get into this.
Make sure you have permission to shred what you're shredding. We did steal the we were donated these graciously by our
These are my
roommate Ben.
Also,
Who
be
also
aware
works here.
of where you're shredding. Like, if you notice, there's not very many shreds on the butt of my pants. There is a reason.
You don't want to show
That's
off
the
your
butt
cute
of my
underwear?
pants.
But
underwear?
cute underwear.
What
But
underwear?
there are
Oh.
some small shreds in here,
Oh.
but there's not like the big massive shreds like you have down the legs. And that's because, well, I am not actually in post-apocalyptic world. I don't need to show the world my butt. So,
I
but
mean,
it
you
is
can.
shredded. I can't, I don't want to. But, there are big massive shreds, and some of these actually go up underneath some of the pockets. Like, I shredded these pants before I started adding in pockets. And then I shredded again once I had some of the pockets on there. So you have the shreds that actually go deep underneath the pockets. So the pockets actually act like patches into some of these shred marks. And the fun thing is, if you want to do something that looks like it's been repaired, shred it up and then stitch it back down. Also wash them. Once you shred it, wash it. It helps fray those edges a little bit more, kind of like a really good worn pair of jeans. And you get these weird looking damage marks into it. And I love it, especially if you're doing, Starlord's jacket isn't going to be perfectly clean. There's going to be damage marks into it. Everybody, the scariest thing is actually damaging your clothing.
I think it would hurt to damage a leather jacket like that.
It
Yeah,
would hurt.
a
To
It would
damage
hurt my
leather.
feelings.
But be aware, like, if
Talk
you're
about
if you're going to
scary.
damage something, let your costumes age. Let them do their natural thing. We had my demon wings. When I first wore them, they were beautiful. They were pristine.
I actually
they
have
were
a picture of
bright
like
purple.
brand new.
brand new. They were gorgeous. I loved them. I had them at a con. The lovely hotel attendant helping us out took my wet shampoo bottles and stuck them on top of my purple leather in my car.
Oh.
Then I drove home for 6.5 hours. By the time I got home, like, she knows what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Soap does not come out of leather, and it changes it drastically.
Water.
So, no, and there's no getting the stain out.
No.
So then I'm like, you know what? Luckily for me, this was my personal costume. So we took my leather wings and we tattered the snot out of them. I broke the main joint that kept my wings up and out, and I broke it so that it hung down. And, I tattered the wings, and I put holes in them. I burned holes through them, and, I tattered them up. And oddly enough, it worked a lot better for that costume. It looked more accurate for what that costume was than when I had them bright and beautiful and pristine. And that's the scariest thing, is actually damaging a costume.
Unless you either, one, it's something really, really cheap that you know very easily how to replace. Two,
Yes.
it's something that you're not really going to use anymore, so you don't really care if you destroy it or not. Or three, one thing that I've done when I'm unsure about a method is I'll take a
Test.
small piece of fabric or a small something in the similar fabric and test
Yeah,
it.
because like different fabrics were actually teared completely differently.
Yes, definitely.
That you want to tell if you're unsure of how something's going to work, test it on a smaller piece. Whether it's from spray paint or whether it's from a stitching style, whether it's you're going to tear it, whatever you're going to do with it. If you're unsure of how this is going to work, test it with a smaller piece.
Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention, since people are talking about budgets and sort of entering in at first, for those who do not have a sewing machine, who do not have sewing skills,
If you're
hot
in Austin,
glue is going to be your best friend. Your
Hot glue.
best friend.
Or
Take
if
it
you-
with you in
here's
case it
the
messes
thing.
up.
or if you live in Austin, contact us on Creepy Cosplay. I own 11 sewing machines, and I'm happy to teach people. Yeah, she sees that.
Yeah.
Me, I'm like, oh, look, another sewing machine. You don't
Wait,
have room for it. Shh.
Didn't I get my sewing machine from you?
Yes, you did
That
buy
brought me
yours.
down to 11 from 13.
Yeah, she bought her sewing machine from me because I didn't like it.
I hate that thing.
I
So I
hate
bought,
that machine.
6 more.
I was like, I hate that machine. That's why I sold it.
I'm a big fan of sewing machines, and especially if you own your own sewing machine, I actually prefer to teach people on their own sewing machines.
Yeah.
Because
But
if you
for
learn
those
on
who
somebody
can't
else's,
afford it-
well, if you learn on somebody else's machine, then you're used to that machine, and then you know the price
Yeah.
tag might hurt your feeling.
Well,
Yeah, you
also,
don't wanna learn on
again,
my machine. The price tag's really high.
the people who can't afford it or don't have room for it.
Hot
the-
glue is a
you know.
good one. But you gotta remember, we
glue
do
and duct
live
tape.
in Texas, and hot
Yes.
glue in
Do
the
not
summertime.
leave it in the car. I've learned that the hard way. If you have something hot glued together, do not leave it in the car, especially in the summer. Do not
Don't
leave it
leave
anywhere
anything
hot.
plastic.
And don't leave it in plastic. And take your hot glue gun and some extra glue sticks with you to the con in case things fall off. For such as
And I'm gonna tell you, when we talk about Texas and things in Texas, I have melted full-blown Nerf guns to the front seat of my truck.
so
Yes.
my base for my red lantern, which I add all of the shredded black bits up on top, and this is also what I meant by not needing super fancy thing for superhero costume. I have my patch added, and it's just hot glued. And as you can see, over time, and this has been together for about a whole year now of
Yeah.
like regular wear, and finally this is starting to come off. So if you bring your hot glue, you can just be like, oh, my patch is coming off.
Now here's
Bam,
a fun trick
fix.
for that. Okay, instead of adding new hot glue, what you do is if you already have hot glue on the back of something like this, flip it inside out and iron it.
Oh.
The heat will go straight through your fabric, reheat your glue. Now you're gonna have to use wax paper. I
Yeah.
recommend putting wax paper between your fabric and your iron because this glue will seep back through.
Yeah.
So put wax paper down, iron it back down with an iron. It'll reheat that hot glue, and you don't have to keep adding globs and globs and globs of hot glue, or you don't have to go through the whole process of picking it all off, which some of
Oh,
us
that
is a really
process.
fun process. But yeah,
Hey, maybe it's spider webs.
spiderwebs.
Spider webs.
But yeah, you can reactivate your hot glue, especially if it's on fabric. But I recommend wax
Yeah, I didn't
paper
know
because
that.
nobody wants to hot glue their iron because then it burns onto your iron and
And then you have to clean it, and
you have
that's
to clean it and it's a pain in the
I don't wanna
butt.
imagine the pain of
It
cleaning
my
it.
smells horrible. But yeah, wax paper is a really good sealant between your iron and hot glue.
But also, I made a whole vest for my female scarecrow the other day out of hot glue. I literally just took a small vest I already had, laid it over a piece of fabric that I wanted to be the outside, cut that out, and then I just hot glued it down and cut off the edges. Bam, done. Because I had like
hot
an
glue is a
hour.
great first starter
Yeah.
for a costume.
Because I
Hot
had
glue-
no sewing machine and I had an hour. And I was like,
feel
let's do this.
I feel like out of the sewing machines, the hot glue of the sewing machine world is a serger.
I hate sergers.
I
have
like them.
I don't even
I
know
hate
what that
it.
is.
The sergers and I don't get along. We have a hate relationship. I hate it and it hates working for me.
This is a surged edge.
No, it's not. That's a zigzag.
Well, that's a zigzag, but it does the same thing. So
Yeah.
literally a serger,
If you're cheap
We'll put
or
the
you're
zigzag
annoying with
down.
sergers like me,
and then it'll also lay
just
down
zigzag edge your
straight
stitch,
stitch.
on the
Okay.
edge of it. That is a whole. I can do an entire show about sewing machines. I can do several of them, but I've seen a lot of people some people are a little scared to work with leather armor. So I've seen people that one over there, they're a little scared to do it the first time. Velcro.
Velcro is
Velcro
scary.
is a really good one. I've seen people Velcro pieces together, and that's they took shirts like that and they would Velcro pieces onto them to make their costume, and that's great. Me, I'm like, oh, it's leather. Why did you put Velcro on it? But then again, I have a really weird skill set in the fact that I've spent 30 plus years, kind of aging myself here, working
Kind
on
of?
a little bit, just not that old. Okay. But I've spent my entire life has been pretty much crafting, and I'm always learning something new. Like we learned Inkle Loom the other day, and I was like, "Yay, I get this!"
So
Putting aside, I'm not touching it anymore.
So, this has been Closet Cosplay. If you have any questions, please feel free to, message us on Creepy Cosplay or Behind the Costume. Jaunty, where can they find you on Facebook again?
I'm Jaunty Jabberwocky, like the creature from
Alice in
Wonderland.
Wonderland.
On Facebook and on Instagram, I'm Jaunty Faye. That's Was it F-A-E or F-E-A?
F-E-A.
Yes, F-E-A. So,
You
like the
can't
fairy.
spell your own name.
Hey, I just changed it to something simpler,
I just
okay?
saw it. I just saw it. It's all the change. So, stay tuned on our Fanboy TV block party. Next is Zombie Life TV. And you know those guys are down there getting crazy and ready to go.
They're all nuts.
Like,
We
I
all
can
love 'em,
hear
but
them. They're all partying
But I mean,
already.
here's my biggest words of advice for, especially, you know, to go back to our question of the week. Do whatever makes you happy. Do whatever you feel like. Don't be afraid to push your skill level.
Yeah.
I love doing it. I like making her do it. It's hilarious.
I don't
I
like
have
it.
her first piece of sewing she ever did with me, and it's atrocious. It's so bad.
So, once again, this is Behind the Costume. I'm Harley.
And I'm Jill.
And I'm Jaunty Faye.
And so long, and thanks for all the fish.
Yep. Nom 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 fish.